Yes. Oh,
There we go. Got it.
floor is yours, ma'am.
All right. I'm AJ Mullican for the third or fourth time. Hi. I do write romance primarily, paranormal romance, contemporary romance, sci-fi romance, fantasy romance. Throw a couple people together, or three or four or five, and I'm getting on, and you got me there. So, hi everybody. It's nice to see everyone here. It's nice to see the faces and the names and everybody. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to pop them into the chat or something, or speak up. I will be reading from Call Me Bunny, which came out last December. It is a contemporary reverse harem with some MM and bi awakening in it. So I'll be reading from that in a few minutes. But just going to give everybody a chance to, if they want to, ask questions or say hi. Uh, the awkward moment where it's like, do I start reading yet? I'm not seeing any questions popping up on the chat, so I'll go ahead and give it a start here. So I'm reading from, what chapter is this anyway? I wrote it, I should know. Chapter 11. This is really awkward because my husband just walked into the kitchen. Like, I didn't want to read yet.
Well, I'll ask a question if we need to
Right.
make a point. So where do you get your inspiration for your stories?
I'm one of those who's a visual inspiration person. So I saw this cover and on sale for like $40 on Facebook. I was just scrolling and it popped up. I was like, that's mine. Um, it was one of those things where like I probably shouldn't have bought it, but I did. And I was kind of inspired by that. I also have trouble, like, to me, the object covers, which I know are really in these days, I don't get a vibe from those. I don't get like a story in my head from them. So like when I see an object cover, I'm like, I have no idea what story this is about, because I just don't, my brain doesn't work that way. So I like the covers with the people on them, or animals, whatever, because my brain can translate that then into a story. So that's generally what I do. Is I see a cover I like, I grab it, and then eventually I write the story. I'm kind of a little bit of a hoarder. I'm sure all those authors here know about that, right?
Oh my God, yes. So many covers, so little time.
Right? Like, I can't die for the next like 20 years. I've got all these covers I need to write. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and start reading because I don't know when the husband is gonna pop back into the room or whatever. But if he doesn't want to hear it, he shouldn't have walked out here, right? So in this scene, Neil and Keys, who are two of Bunny's harem, are chatting online in a video game. Only Neil doesn't know that Keys is the person he's chatting with. Or maybe he doesn't. We'll find out. Neil sighs. I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't hook up with a guy just because everybody else is doing it. I should have feelings for him, It wouldn't be fair otherwise. Sexual feelings, or feelings like you have for me? I shouldn't poke, I shouldn't poke, I shouldn't poke. That's different. You and me, we click. And you don't click with this Keys guy? When Neil pauses on the other end, I worry I'm pushing too hard. Hey, bunny love, babe. I'll be right back. Don't log off. I just got a bio real quick. Okay, babe. I sit there watching his avatar shift positions randomly, as though Noob Slayer is bored without Neil making him run around. I already miss chatting with him, even though he's just down the hall, just taking a leak before we play some more. I find myself staring at his tune on the screen, my heart thumping in my chest as I wait for him to log back on and declare his undying love for me. Me, not bunny love. You could have told me. Neil's voice startles me so much I almost jump out of my chair. I yelp and fumble at the keys, trying to log off before he sees the screen, but he reaches around from behind me and takes my wrists in his hands. I freeze, uncertain how much I've pissed him off by not coming clean. On the screen, my bunny love avatar goes through her own random pose shift, crossing her arms over her chest in the most ironic fashion. Why didn't you say something? He whispers into my ear, his breath hot on my neck. I'm trapped. His fingers hold me in a feather-light grip, but I can't break it. I can't move. I can't do anything but fear the repercussions of my actions. My body trembles as Neil rotates my chair around and rubs my pulse points with his thumbs as his lips brush the skin on the side of my neck. I keep waiting for the hammer to drop, for him to suddenly lash out. He doesn't. Instead, he pulls my arms to my chest, shifts his grip to hold both wrists in his bandaged hand, and uses the other to pull off my headset. He inspects the switch on the side of the mic. This how you do it? How you make me think you're her? I should fess up. I should say something, anything. Why can't I speak? The headset clatters to the floor, and Neil tips my chin up with a finger. I find myself gazing into his blue eyes, a different shade from my own, but still beautiful in their own right. Tears well up, blurring my vision as I await my punishment. You should have fucking told me. His voice is low and steady, though his hands shake. We stare at each other for what feels like forever, his eyes searching mine for what? What's he looking for? Contrition? Regret? I don't feel those things, not like I should. All I feel is terror at being caught. Terror and an unbridled lust not even Bunny can invoke. When he finally breaks the spell and leans in, Neil's lips are soft yet firm against mine. My eyes drift closed as I revel in the feel of them, and when he reaches up and pulls a lollipop out of my mouth, I don't stop him. This thing's in the way, he says, tossing it into a nearby trash can. It hits the metal bin with a clang. That's better. His lips descend on mine again, and his hand finally releases my wrists. I let my hands fall to Neil's waist. My thumbs gently rub his hip bones while we kiss, but I refrain from going any further. What if he changes his mind? What if he decides he doesn't like this? Rather than stop or pull away, Neil deepens the kiss, burying one hand in my hair while the other brushes my nipple rings. He's tasting, testing, seeing how this feels, and though I love every second of it, in the back of my mind, I worry he'll up and leave without warning. Watermelon, he murmurs against my lips. What? I'm so fucking turned on, I've lost track of the conversation. Are we talking about food, or is that some kind of safe word? Huh? Neil chuckles. The sucker. It makes you taste like watermelon. Oh, yeah, that thing. I lick my lips as Neil lowers his hand to the waistband of his sweats. I don't need to be a mind reader to tell he's just as turned on as I am. The stark outline of his hard cock under the gray flannel is enough of a hint that whatever I'm doing it right. The corner of his mouth turns up in a wry grin as he lowers his pants just enough for me to see the flash of steel at his tip. I can't promise I'll taste like watermelon. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, this is really happening. My chair rolls back as I slide out of it, falling to my knees in front of him. Neil fists my hair and pulls the sweatpants the rest of the way down. His cock bounces and throbs. I grab the shaft, giving the pierced head a tentative lick. I know Neil well enough to know this is brand new territory for him. He's been almost as isolated as I have, preferring the company of pixelated friends over face-to-face companionship. Still, while he's dated and fooled around, it's not the same way I have. I've been a bisexual nerd my whole life, always fascinated with both men and women. So when the jocks in high school and college needed their grades hacked to stay on the team, I took full advantage. I've had almost more cock in my mouth than lollipops. A part of me debates how to proceed. Should I show my skills or should I ease him into this world? Neil reaches down and strokes my cheek. Go ahead, Keys. I'm ready. Cocky. He has no clue what he's in for. I start off slow, looking and nibbling his long, velvety shaft. Neil doesn't have the girth of some of the men I've been with, but he'll definitely give me a run for my money in the length department. I can deep throat with the best of them, but damn, it's been a while since I've been with a guy like this. Skills can fade if not practiced. When I tease his tip, licking and sucking the cock ring so much that it rotates in the hole, he groans and grips my hair tighter. I take that as a sign to keep going. Fuck, Keys. I knew you had me get that for a reason, but I never imagined it would feel this good in someone's mouth. His voice trails off as I take more of him in. With one hand wrapped around the base of his shaft, I ease his cock further down my throat, taking an inch at a time. Neil makes the hottest moaning and whimpering noises, and I find myself unbuttoning my pants to free myself from the constricting fabric so I can jerk off while I work. Despite my earlier experiences, Neil is the first man I've been with that I've actually had feelings for. Somehow, emotion heightens the eroticism of what I'm doing. It increases every sensation, lighting my nerve endings on fire. When I taste his cum at the back of my mouth as he shoots his load a bit early, I fucking lose it. I groan and jerk, coming mere seconds after he does. The floor now has a sticky white pool of cum on it, something I'll have to clean up before the next time Kendrick walks in here. It's such a satisfying sight when I release Neil's cock and look down at the mess I've made. I wipe my mouth and let Neil help me to my feet. I'm going to need to find a... He interrupts me with another kiss, pulling me to his chest. Our exposed dicks rub together as our hips meet, making me half hard again. Mop, I finish after he lets go. That is a scene from Call Me Bunny. The Neil and Key's relationship is just a kind of a side relationship in Call Me Bunny. It's part of the harem, but they have their own little dynamic. And it's been kind of a fan favorite. A lot of people who read Call Me Bunny say that they really, thanks, Mika, that they really like the dynamic between Neil and Keys, even though they're part of a larger polycule. So did anyone have any questions? Anything else? I'm a kind of a fast like reader, so sometimes I kind of speed through. I don't mean to, it's just the way I am. Thank you, thank you. Yeah.
That was super hot.
Thank you.
Right?
And I enjoyed the watermelon line.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my God.
Keys and Neil were so much fun to write. And Call Me Bunny is getting a prequel. It will have Bunny and Kendrick and Doc to start out with, and then you'll find out how Keys joins the harem. And I'm definitely a pantser. Mika asked if I'm a plotter or a pantser. I definitely I go with the flow. I occasionally will plot out some things, but basically I am just going seat of the pants all the way. I've tried plotting before, and it goes off rails so fast because the characters just take over. There's no control. Like I know they're all in my head, but they are doing their own thing, and I'm just like the meme says, writing up the incident report.
It's so
Mika says she
true.
understands that.
So true.
Right. So yeah, I just take notes on what they're doing and try to keep up.
Do they look
But
like movies in your head?
sometimes, yeah, I do have that kind of visual imagination where I can see the things happening, and that helps me to write it down. So I can picture the scene between Neil and Keys as though it was like a movie or a TV show. It helps me to write it because I'm just writing what I see, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I never would have thought that I could have so much fun writing up this stuff, but and it's so funny because I've always been such a little daydreamer, always off in our own little world, the teachers would say, and it's like, well, yeah, but now my own little world I can share with others, Oh, how do I handle a scene block? I get very frustrated. I ignore the work in progress for several days. I yell at the character sometimes in my head. I just kind of sometimes I can power through a scene block, but sometimes it's just really, really hard. I have one work in progress I'm working on right now that I just wrote a few hundred words this morning, and I've the word count total was like 242 before that. So I doubled my word count in one day almost because I just couldn't. I'm having trouble getting into it. I know what's going to happen, but it's a matter of how do I get from what's happening now to what's going to happen. So it's kind of like my blocks are usually in the process in the in between from the scenes I can visualize more easily. So it's like I'm trying to get from A to B. I know what happens in B, but I'm at A right now, and I'm a write in order kind of person, so I can't like jump around with the scenes like some people can, and so it really, yeah, scene blocks really kind of throw me for a loop because it's like I got to get the scene done because I can't write the next one. I have to go in order. That's just my head. Emotional mental reasons. Mika asked if I've ever started a story and had to walk away for emotional mental reasons. Not really. I'm one of those people who has so few triggers that I don't recognize when I've got triggers in my own work. So I have to kind of force myself to be more emotionally aware of what other people may feel when they're reading it. I know I'm short on time here. So I don't know when that
You
next
can
minute's
keep
gonna click
talking.
over.
Go ahead,
Okay.
keep talking.
But yeah, emotional mental reasons. I don't get emotionally, it's not that I don't get emotionally involved in the characters, it's that I don't get emotionally upset by what's going on. I might write another book with video gamer characters. I play Final Fantasy 14 online myself, and I've played WoW. I play tabletop RPG sometimes, So I definitely vibe with gamer characters for sure. If I found the right cover or if I had the right idea to get the cover design, I probably would write another gamer book. I think that it's not, it's a genre that's not tapped enough. We need to have more gamer characters out there because there's lots of gamer people, you know, women and men. You know, people think it's just, you know, thank you, Mika. You can get autographed copies of my books actually by going to my website, ajmullican.com, and there are places there to buy the books online. I actually have a shop on my website, and you can go through there. I think I need to update it. I think the last couple of books, I don't have my book with Ariel up there yet, or the last Zalanite Mates book up yet. But I can get those up later today probably, because those are available now. So book events. Unfortunately, I don't get out to the public book events like the in-person ones very often. Gabrielle Lizette asked if I was doing book events. I am doing Bite Me Monster Con, which is another virtual con in next month in August. That one is going to be a Facebook event, and I know Ariel's going to be in Bite Me Monster Con too. She's going to be in there. But I don't get to the in-person ones that much because I have a full-time job that kind of takes a lot of my time, and it's hard to get time off for things like that, and hard to get the funds up to go to them. I would love to, but right now it's just not the place for me yet. So someday I'll be able to. So, all right.
I
I'm
wanted
not
to
cutting.
ask, I wanted to
Oh,
ask, do you have any plans on writing any other video game based characters or use that again in the future?
I would like to. I definitely I'm gonna go in, like I said, more with keys in the prequel, the next book, the previous book is next. And yeah, I'll definitely write more. I just need to find the right cover, I think, and find, you know, time in my writing schedule to be able to add that on there. But I do enjoy writing the video game characters. That's a lot of fun, or video game player characters. So, all right. So, Skylar, am I good on time? I don't want to cut into the next person's thing too much.
Yeah, you can go ahead and wrap it up. That's
Okay.
great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining me. Call Me Bunny, available on Amazon, Kindle Unlimited, paperback, as you can see. And it's been great reading for you all and answering your questions. And thanks for having me. I'll be popping in and out today.
Thank you.